NTR TV viewers. In our program today, we will talk about the history of sheep, goats, cattle, and camels. We will talk about where these animals first appeared in history, how their names were mentioned, in which eras they were used in history, how their meat, milk, skin, and powder were used, and their benefits in terms of human health. Let's start our program by wishing you a good time. For the first time in history, South Arabian and African societies raised the camel as a milk-giving animal and an element of wealth. In North Africa, unlike other regions, camels were also used for plowing and pulling carts. But in the early periods, camels were used very little as a pack animal and were never used as a riding animal. The use of camels as riding animals became possible after the manufacture of new and useful saddles. There were mostly dromedary camels in Arabia, Syria, Egypt, and Africa. According to archaeological data, the Bactrian camel was domesticated for the first time in the Khorasan region, which today forms the border between Iran and Turkmenistan. The existence of this type of camel goes back to 3000 to 2500 BC. The proliferation of camels in Anatolia. It started with the increase of economic connections with the camel-raising regions, especially in northern Syria, and it was conquered by the Turks. Cattle is a member of the horned family of the even-toed ungulates of mammals. Cattle are domestic cattle of the subfamily. They are mostly domesticated, coarse and clumsy bovines with tasseled tails and horns. Their stomachs have 4 cavities and they ruminate. They do not have incisors in their upper jaws. They cut grass with the teeth of their lower jaws. Their horns are permanent. Once it's broken, it won't grow back again. The bull is used for breeding, and the ox is used as work and livestock. The ox, which can reach an average of 800 kilograms, can easily pull a load of 4,500 kilograms. It is the main pillar of agriculture where the tractor cannot enter. Meat and milk of cattle are the best food source for human beings, as well as leather and processed leather. Its horns and bones are used in industry, and its manure is used in the fields. The pasture they spread is not as weak as horses, goats, and sheep. On the contrary, they increase their strength by grazing regularly. Goat, or the domestic goat, Capra aegaris hircus, is the name given to the ungulates that make up the Capra aegaris hircus subspecies from the Caprinae subfamily of the hornbill family. Domestic goats were domesticated from the wild goat living in Eastern Europe and the Middle East, and were one of the first animals domesticated by humans. In 2011, the UN Food and Agriculture Organization estimated that more than 924 million goats live in the world. The offspring of goats are called Capricorn. The male is called a goat, 1-year-old male and female are called Chepish. Cultivation and products. Goats climb and steep slopes easily and do not hesitate to wander around the paths and cliffs. This is why difficult passages are called goat's path. They like fresh sprouts and leaves. They can be harmful in the spring as they eat the new shoots during the growing season of the trees. In recent years, there are scientists who disprove the thesis that they harm the forests. On the contrary, thesis has been put forward that it contributes to the protection of the forest against fire. Domestic goats are fed for their milk, meat, skin, and lint. The fur obtained from goats is called hide. In general, the skins of goats are used in making gloves, bags, and shoes, and their fur and fleece are used in weaving. Goat's milk is low-fat but nutritious compared to cow's milk and contains a high amount of calcium. In this program, we explain where sheep, goats, cattle, and camels first appeared in history, and for what purpose they served humanity. Stay on NTR TV in the hope of meeting in new programs with new topics. Goodbye.